Hey, there we are. Hey, folks. Gavin, Seim here. Just wanted to take a few minutes to go live and report on the incident happening now. The incident happened today in Big Wells, Texas, and the situation that's developing down there. Of course, the police are already making up stories, trying to cover their butts, trying to make it like they were the good guys as they broke the law, as they endangered people on the highway, as they committed vehicular manslaughter, I believe will be the technical legal term for this. There's actually a video here, and let me swing this camera around for just a moment. This is a situation. This is the vehicle. Honestly, I mean, I have to say in this news report, this is over on Circa Live now. This doesn't look like a vehicle in a crash. It looks more like a vehicle that somebody launched a missile into, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it caught on fire. I don't know what happened. In terms of the vehicle itself. Of course, we can see all the Blue ISIS guys. They've let the media in that are approved, and all the Blue ISIS guys are here covering their trails and trying to build their narratives. And the narrative is that 12 immigrants were ejected and 5 died after being chased by Border Patrol. And so this is in Big Wells. Now, it's important to understand here, it looks like the drivers of the vehicle were actually citizens. So first of all, police engaged in an illegal chase. Illegal because they had no right to stop citizens. Illegal because they had no right to stop immigrants. Illegal because they're not supposed to be engaging in high-speed pursuits, because it's been validated over and over again that it makes people, that it causes more accidents and it causes more harm than do. It's really important to understand that the Border Patrol are terrorists and their friends in Blue ISIS are terrorists. These are some of the worst and most violent criminals we have, and it's really important to start calling them out, to start shaming and speaking against anyone who pretends that Border Patrol has anything to do with law. Every one of our immigration restriction laws are completely unconstitutional under the Fourth Amendment and a bunch of others. There's zero context in our history, in our founding fathers, or in natural law for restricting someone's right to travel. But that's really not what this story is. No, this is not in Mexico. Mexican cops don't generally get away with this sort of behavior. And anyways, so they started chasing this car, and they were chasing this car at over 100 miles an hour because, as the officer put it, Dimmitt County Sheriff Marion Boyd credited good police work for the reason deputies started pursuing the vehicle. Okay, so it's really important, and I want you guys to kind of notice this. This is always what Blue ISIS does. They don't actually make a statement as to why the heck they were breaking the law, chasing people and terrorizing people in the first place. And I do want to, let's clear out the trolls here that are in here chimping for terrorists and Donald Trump and all the Blue ISIS goons that are waging war on the Constitution and on freedom. If you are chasing someone down the road, pursuing them to kidnap them. So let's kind of go back to the beginning. First of all, did you notice Dimmitt County Sheriff? He made no statement as to anything having been done wrong. They started pursuing these people. He didn't give a reason that gave any legal cause for them pursuing them, okay? A car being driven that officers determined might have people in it that don't have magic papers, and they start pursuing them down the interstate at 100 miles an hour, causing a crash that annihilates this vehicle and kills 5 people. When will people start realizing that the Border Patrol, the police, Blue ISIS, that these people are terrorists, and start regarding them as such? Now, we should be honorable, we should be principled, we shouldn't be seeking violence, but people have a right to defend themselves against kidnappers, robbers, and terrorists like the Border Patrol, okay? You don't have to bow down. It's okay. It's not wrong to run from these psychopaths, but we see oftentimes how that ends. That's why the USA is so unsafe. The USA is a third world nation because of its justice system, okay? So anyways, there's this live video going, and it's just showing them cleaning up this mess, and you can see, you guys can go to this page here, because they have been doing some reports on it, and there's going to be more stories. But rest assured that they will come out and they will be saying, oh, these people were suspected of this, or we thought they might be cartels, because that's all they have to give you guys. That's all they have to give the good little slaves of the USA. Hopefully you guys in this video are more awake than that. All they have to tell the slaves of the USA is, we thought they might be doing something bad, so their deaths are okay. Now, what makes me actually more sick here is when you look at these comments, and they are mixed, right? They should stay in Mexico where they belong, all right? It's just, there's people laughing. Stay at the freaking border. Right? Just don't come here. Ice, ice, baby. These people are in here mocking. This is our country. Build the wall. Now build the wall. Build the wall. Wish all illegals finished this way. Are you guys seeing these comments? Are you seeing what the heart of our country is? Are you seeing what's left of the rule of law in this country as armed agents terrorize and kidnap people on the highways, and then come in and make their narratives and say that they wish all illegals died in car accidents? Okay? Laughing. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. If you go to the news article here, you'll see Boyd said there needs to be a wall built because this is a real problem. You tell me, what's a real problem, Boyd? You're terrorist thugs chasing people down the interstate to kidnap and rob and extort and split them from their families, to lock their children in empty Walmarts turned prison camps. No, that's not made up. I just made a post about it on my page yesterday. It's acknowledged by the government that these immigrants are coming here, they're arresting them, they're dividing the family, and they're taking the children and putting them in camps, all right, in these essentially prisons. It's the new slavery that we're building, okay? So I want to be very clear. From all the information we're seeing, no one in this vehicle broke the law. The only people breaking the law were Border Patrol and the police involved. It's not illegal to run from a kidnapper. It's not illegal to try and elude someone who's trying to terrorize you. It's actually a way to try and avoid using violence, which people do have a right to use force to resist these blue ISIS thugs. But to run, to try and escape the situation, oftentimes is the more honorable way. Thanks, Preble. Because we don't want to seek violence, sometimes getting away and taking away their power. So these people did nothing wrong if they were trying to be illegally stopped for not having magic papers and tried to elude the terrorists who were going to use arms and force and guns to imprison them in a for-profit prison, all right? And so we have to get our narrative straight. We have to start understanding. We have to stop looking at this from the perspective, and here's the problem. Everybody looks at this from the perspective of, well, I guess they should have followed the law. Well, they should have come here legally. There's no such thing as coming to a country illegally under real law. There's only fake law that prevents people from coming here. That's right, forever. These are jack-booted thugs. These are terrorists. These are blue ISIS. These are the most violent terrorists in the USA on the numbers, who kill more people than all other criminal and terrorist organizations, combined in the USA, okay? And it's time to stop letting people think the Border Patrol, any of them are good guys. If you choose to rob, kidnap, extort, blue ISIS, the Border Patrol, the judicial system, these are people who are terrorists. If you work for them, you are the Gestapo, you are the Nazis. Maybe you're just doing your job, maybe you're trying to make the system better, but you're not. You're going to follow orders and abuse people because you're a prostitute. That's who you are. If you work for the Border Patrol, if you work for the blue ISIS police, if you work for the court system. And so my heart goes out to these families of these people who were killed by these Border Patrol thugs. We have at least 5 people dead in Texas at the hands of the Border Patrol. People who were not charged with any crime, people who were not violating even not only natural law, but the laws of the USA. All the immigration restrictions in the USA under our Constitution, which automatically supersedes them, are null and void. There are no even legitimate statutes for immigration restriction on the books. The federal government, according to our Constitution, our founding fathers, and our history, have absolutely no authority over immigration, and certainly not to restrict travel. Thanks, Legendary. So I just wanted to get this out there. I'm going to keep it short. You guys spread this, okay? People think I'm radical because I come on and say, look, terrorists killed 5 people in Texas today. But that's exactly what happened. And it's time to start calling out the loyalist blue ISIS goons who get in here and say, build the wall, who get in here and say, you know, this is good. I'm glad these people, this is what should happen to all immigrants. That's actually what these people are saying, thanks Trail, in these comments of this annihilated vehicle that was carrying 14 people. And this vehicle crashed because these blue ISIS thugs and their friends were illegally chasing them down the highway. I'm honestly wondering what else happened here. What, did they put a firebomb in this thing after it crashed to finish them off? I don't know. Maybe if you roll a vehicle enough times at that speed, it could probably do that much damage. It just, I don't trust anything they say. So you got the blue ISIS, you got the Border Patrol blue ISIS. Here's the guy that profits off the blue ISIS with his tow truck who takes people's vehicles. This guy makes a living by taking vehicles and most of the time taking them for extortion money and impoundment. In this case, he'll be paid by the blue ISIS guys that he's out here supporting. And you can see just in the comments here that people are actually praising the death of these people. There are some people that get it, which is good. And there's a lot of people in here. There's people laughing in here that this happened. It's truly... the nation's going to be judged for this, for the way we've treated the immigrant, who is the most vulnerable and weak among us. The nation is going to go down for the way we've treated the innocent, the immigrant, the elderly, from the unborn to the aged. We're the worst of the worst. The U.S. is a terrorist nation. And I can speak out somewhat freely for now, because I escaped the USA and I am down here in Mexico having to leave the USA in the dark of night to avoid their prison camps. But there's never true safety at this point other than from up there, because the USA has their fingers all over the world. And so when I see the terrorist sympathizers who are in here defending blue ISIS, defending the Border Patrol terrorists, and you want the facts are that not one immigration restriction in the USA is legal under natural law or under our Constitution or under the words of our founding fathers. Not one. That's the facts. And so the people that claim they're patriots, that are supporting the abuse, the arrest, the detainment, the deportation of immigrants, they're not. They're loyalists, they're patriots, they're blue ISIS sympathizers, and they have no part with freedom other than that they're trying to destroy it. All right? These are people who have sold out their conscience and their love for neighbor for propaganda and nationalism. That's the facts. The facts is that this car was going down the road and police were illegally chasing it at 100 miles an hour so that they could kidnap people by force to put them into for-profit concentration camps. That's the facts. And the patriots don't want to hear the facts, but I hope you guys want to hear the facts. I hope you guys will spread the facts. I hope you guys will speak out. You'll be able to search for this article. I'm sure you'll see it on the news. I'm sure you'll see all the faux news agencies talking about how it's okay that these people were killed by the Border Patrol because they broke the law that isn't actually real, the law that violates the Constitution, which is the higher law, the law that violates our rights that are clearly affirmed not only historically, but in our constitutions. Shame, shame, shame on the patriots who back the blue, who back the Border Patrol, who want walls to lock us into our districts and our country and destroy our right to freedom and travel and speech. Shame on you. You are the destroyers of freedom. And justice is coming. Justice is coming on the USA because of what we've allowed, the way we've allowed people to be treated. And I fear for it. Guys, know when to get out because it's going down. The world knows that we are the terrorists. The world is not running around worrying about ISIS and MS-13 and all these other things that the U.S. has their fingers in so that they can try and create terrorist organizations to distract you. Not that these places don't do real crimes, but the USA actually keeps their fingers in the criminal element so they can keep you distracted from the fact that they are the number one criminal element. Okay, love your neighbor, speak out, share this, spread this, like, subscribe, start speaking the truth. My prayers go out to these families.